Welcome to another exciting edition of the Premier League Zone, proudly brought to you by 1xBet. My name is Anthony Ajilu, and this is your number one family radio station, Inspiration 92.3 FM. It's a Monday, and of course, it's our recap day or a review day, like we call it. We're looking back to all the action this past weekend, and we're going to do a little analysis on what we saw. And boy, was it a weekend of thrillers, of narrow escapes, of refereed errors, and of course, a very, very interesting statement from Nottingham Forest. We'll be talking about all of that on the show today. The gentlemen of valor are in the studio with me. There's Bode Bruno, there's Triple O, and of course there's Nicholas Ayamene in the studio. Gentlemen, how are you doing this morning? Let me start with you. Let me start from my right. Nicholas, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, Anthony, it feels great. I'm actually excited. Liverpool actually got that one against Fulham, and it promises to be a great week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Triple O, what's going on?
Nothing too much.
Have you forgiven Nicholas Jackson?
He can never be forgiven. Well, I'm looking forward to destroying Arsenal tomorrow.
Now here we go, day. Bode Bruno, hey, a very narrow escape for Manchester United. How you doing?
An escape is an escape.
An escape is an
whether
escape.
narrow or broad. At the end of the day, United escaped, or an embarrassing situation. Glad to be here because the throw for this morning for no easy at all.
Anyway, let's go on the break. Let's take a word from 1xBet. We will come back and of course we'll get things started properly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Let's just remind you off the bat that you can call us on 0700 923 923 923 0700 923 923 923. You can also send us messages on WhatsApp at 081 7313 6193 081 7313 6193. We're also live on Facebook at Inspiration FM 92.3. Just leave your comments under the live feed. We'll read them on the show. Let's get to all the action. Let's read out the results, and I'll pick a few of them to talk about. And of course, I want us to spend time talking about the situation at Aston Villa, the situation at Nottingham Forest, the comments by the likes of Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, the comments from Mark Clattenburg, who is a consultant from Nottingham Forest, and everything in that statement. We'll talk about that as well, but let's just read out the fixtures and pick up some of the matches to talk about. Let's start with the FA Cup. We saw the semi-final over the weekend. Chelsea were beaten 1-0 by Manchester City. Again, Nicholas Jackson showing his true color. And then Chelsea have a reason to feel hard done by because they should have had a penalty. There was nothing. It was not a hidden call. It was not a dodgy call. It was a penalty, but they didn't get it at the end of the day. But all of this just means we're having a Manchester final in the FA Cup. But let's start with Chelsea first of all, buddy. Again, City have not been all that convincing, but they just seem to just maybe get over the line, maybe with the exception of Real Madrid over last weekend or last midweek. But at the end of the day, got the win over Chelsea.
Oh yes, they did. And this morning, I'm very sure Chelsea fans will still look back at the action on Saturday and feel, well, it was a game they could have won and should have won. Like you did note, for Nicholas Jackson, missed a lot of chances. But again, you have to give City some credit as well. After the exertions in midweek, they did, ensure that they remained in the game, and they just needed a chance, and that was what happened. And Chelsea didn't just have a way back in that particular game. Unfortunately, they can only brew those missed chances. For those blaming Poch as well. Sometimes it goes beyond the manager. The players on the pitch as well have got a responsibility to actually get the job done as well. As a Chelsea fan, I'm not one, but I'm saying right now for Chelsea fans out there, it's a bitter pill to taste, to swallow. But I did see some positives about Chelsea over the weekend. Like we've seen for most parts of the season, they play very well, but just getting games across the finish line just seem to be a major problem. They need to go into the market to get a top-notch striker in the summer. And of course, why are you laughing at me? Jackson is not just that man, and rather than score goals, is moonwalking, and it's not just helping them at this point in time. So that's just the basic thing that happened, unfortunately.
I will not ask you who I want Nicholas Jackson. Let's move on. Because we might spend all day here.
I've said enough about Jackson. And not only clear-cut chances that they could have easily scored. And you can't beat the goalkeeper and have so much space to score the goal, and you turn around again. What are you looking for?
And I guess that's why a lot of Chelsea fans are not even really talking about the penalty that wasn't given, because penalty or not, Chelsea should have buried that game.
They had chances.
Jackson happened. In fact, it felt like Jackson played against Chelsea.
Sorry, Triple. Talking about the penalty incident. Yes, people might choose not to talk about it. No, I know. I read it somewhere.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the day, whether Chelsea missed a whole lot of chances, I think it's a conversation
absolutely.
Chelsea fans should be having.
Absolutely.
Because it's a clear-cut penalty. The VAR didn't even call the referee to come see it on the screen. Nothing. He just said, no penalty, they moved on with the game.
And they didn't even give a corner.
wasn't even given.
You know, we'll rope all of this when we're talking about because I don't understand what Gary Neville was saying. We'll rope all of this when we're talking about the Nottingham Forest incident because I thought Gary Neville's statement was just ridiculous. Anyway, let's go to Manchester United. Led 3-0, threw it away, could have lost it if not for VAR. At the end of the day, though, they won on penalties.
Yes, they won on penalties at the end of the day, and usually they say the end justifies the means, but in this situation, in the means, in Yama means, and you could tell the players also know that they actually messed up that game. That's why they did not celebrate even after they won the penalty shootout, and it was ridiculous to see Oiland celebrating and looking back to see that everyone just waka the goal. It was ridiculous, but again, United, they dropped the ball, and but they said something on the weekend sport cruise, taking off 𝐿𝐵. The selection was somehow, but again, like I said, I don't want to really be in the shoes of Theo. You're leading 3-0. You have a game this weekend. 71 minutes, is it too early to start making substitution, or did bad luck just happen to Manchester United? But if you look beyond that game, overall this season, it's been the story of Manchester United. Poor performances, poor coaching. At least for Chelsea, you can say Jackson happened to them. But with Manchester United, it's hard to see the coaching before you even blame the players. So United, they are into another FA Cup final. They play against the team that they lost to last season. But again, for United, the Champions League is a yardstick. If you are not playing the Champions League, you can win the FA Cup, win the League Cup, they will still let you go.
All right, let's take some messages. 𝐿𝐶𝐻𝐿 says, Barca supporter, but strong City supporter because of Guardiola.
Yeah, you are a Guardiola supporter.
Good morning, guys. United wobbled and fumbled to the final. United won only one easy match all season. 𝐿𝐶𝐻 needs to go. Michael Jackson should go. That's a good body.
I'm sorry. I don't think United wobbled and fumbled into the final. For 70 minutes,
yes, they were
United played well.
Until they dropped
the ball.
Adam says, Adams is very angry this morning. He says, good morning, everyone. Sack the coach, sack the players, bring back Fergie and sack him again for picking David Moyes. Sack the fans, sack the Old Trafford fans, sack the person who brought the name Red Devils, sack everybody. You mean we were a VAR decision away from losing to Coventry? Sack them all.
Anthony, quickly before you go, have you seen the pictures of Sergeant Ratcliffe? They want to wound that man.
Man was supposed at 72, so what's the enjoying money?
It was reminiscent of
enjoying money.
Carry money, go buy body. Now, you don't be a person
as a rich man, you see, he's been bored. And now, let me serving him for some.
Now, why working is
some good nights, man.
Let's go on a break. Let's take another from one next. We'll come back and go to the Premier League as well. Don't go anywhere. Nicholas, let's go to the Premier League. The top two, back in the top two as well. It was expected they were going to get back to winning ways after having a difficult time last week. Arsenal won 2-0 at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool, of course, won 3-1 at Fulham. So, title race back on track. Again, still advantage City at the end of the day.
Well, it's a good one for both Arsenal and Liverpool. I mean, if any one of them actually lost that game, it will be a more problem for them. But I think, the pressure is still on for Manchester City as well, to come back from that win over Chelsea and show that they are also on track. I believe I said it before. I think they look like a team that will go, 6 games unbeaten. So I think it will be an easy one when they come back. They'll probably just find a way to the top of the league. But it's a good thing for Arsenal and Liverpool to ensure that they get the wins and, of course, keep them in that title race conversation. Shake off all the difficulties from last week. They both had, maybe not a good game. I mean, in Europe. But then again, the only thing they have for Arsenal is the Premier League. For Liverpool, I mean, after almost 9 years of Jurgen Klopp's reign at Liverpool, I think it would be a good way to actually, for him to leave on a high, and hopefully Liverpool will do a double. You never can tell. By the end of the day, it's finally good to see the guys score goals. 3-1 it was for Liverpool. It's a good victory.
All right. Let's just read out the results from this weekend. Of course, we've talked about the FA Cup, but in the Premier League was Burnley 4, Sheffield United 1. Brentford defeated Luton Town by 5-1 away from home. home. Arsenal, like we said, 2-0 victory away at Wolves. Everton, 2-0 winners at Nottingham Forest. We are keeping that game ourselves because that's what we're focusing on. Crystal Palace, 5-2 winners over West Ham. Aston Villa, 3-1 winners over Bournemouth. And then Liverpool, 3-1 winners away at Fulham. Now, let's go to Nottingham Forest against Everton away from home. Now, we saw three penalty decisions that were, overlooked by both the referee Anthony Taylor and the VAR Stuart Atwell at the end of the day. First of all, before we go into details, do we agree those penalties should have been given?
3 of them, yes.
At least one should have been given.
At least 2 should have been given.
No, 3 of them should. The handball, two brushing
on the leg, and then the handball.
The handball, no, they were clear penalties.
The handball and 1 brushing should have been given. That's for me.
The second brushing.
The second brushing has to be a penalty.
Has to be a penalty too.
Ashley Young.
The first one he kicked him.
If you had left the first one, maybe you could also do soft, even though it's been given.
We agree that at least one should have been given.
At least one should have been given.
Now let's read the statement from Nottingham Forest after that game. By the way, they are holding forth. Nottingham Forest, that statement is still up on their X handle. They've not deleted it. They posted it on their official Twitter handle. No, it wasn't a fan page. Official Nottingham Forest Twitter handle is right there, and it's still, you can go there and look at it if you want to look at it. Now, this is what the statement said: 3 extremely poor decisions, 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept. We warned the PGMOL that the VAR is a Luton Town fan before the game, but they didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. NFFC will consider its options. That's what they said in their statement. Buddy, too far?
A little far reaching. Like I'd always say, there's an official channel to do all this. Now, if you've gone through every channel and still nothing is done, then you can actually come public. Well, they have every right, to be angry at this point in time. If I were the owner of Manchester United too, and this sort of thing happens to me, of course you'd expect that action should be taken. And for the referees as well, Howard Webb hasn't done enough to ensure that both the central referee and the VAR has diligent as possible, because at the end of the day, we can't keep coming here and we keep talking about these mistakes over and over again. Some teams are suffering because of their ineptitude.
Exactly.
And it can't be changed. They can't come back and say, oh, let's replay this game. But again, I'm hoping the Premier League can say that game should be replayed, because it's a terrible situation.
Hold on, I will come to you with something you said, but let me take Triple O's opinion on this one. Too far statement by Nottingham Forest?
No, I don't think it's too far. I think they've come to the court of public opinion. Because when they actually informed the PGMOL about the VAR being a fan of Luton Town, they did not release that to the public. They did that through the right channels. And when the PGMOL did not do anything about it, maybe they felt, come on, that's just a lame accusation and all of that, then it happened. 3 clear penalties. For me, I'm not changing my opinion. Those 3 penalties should have been given. It doesn't matter. There's no limit to the amount of penalties that you can get in the game. If penalty did 5 times, give them.
Yes.
As long as it is actually just. Now, for Nottingham Forest, of course, when they say they will consider their options, it doesn't mean that they are going to pull out of the league anyway. They are even battling relegations. But what it means is, it's now that tweet has been viewed by over 36 million people. That's even more than the tweet that Argentina has won the FIFA World Cup that was being tweeted by the official Twitter handle of FIFA. So honestly, for me, it's been the story of this season, and this has not stopped. They'll come out and apologize, but that does not change the damage that has been done.
I'm going to pick up on something you said as well. I'll come to that. Nicholas, do you think it was too far by Nottingham Forest?
Well, the question is, were they having a good game? Because this particular decisions actually took the truth about that particular game. Nottingham Forest were not actually having a good game. It was a poor game from Nottingham Forest. But I mean, just like Triple said, it's a penalty. You have to give it to them. And Anthony, as a matter of fact, I think somebody has to do it. It's only a matter of time. Somebody has to do it. And Nottingham Forest have done it. They have nothing to lose. I mean, just like Triple said, they're battling relegation. But then again, somebody has to look into those accusations. Was that guy really a Luton fan? And if he was, then it brings the integrity of the referees into question. And of course, everybody have been talking about the VAR and the level of professionalism in the English Premier League.
All right, let's look at Gary Neville's statement. Gary Neville obviously was at that match, and he said something. He said McClattenburg must resign. By the way, McClattenburg is a consultant for Nottingham Forest, a former referee, but he has completely supported his employers. After that incident, he's backing everything Nottingham Forest said. So we'll not go to get into his statement. But Gary Neville said this. He said, Mark Klassenberg must resign tonight. That was yesterday. If he saw those words go out in which question the integrity of a referee and claims someone is a cheat for supporting another club, then he's supporting what is being said. He would lose all credibility with the referees in the game. He should stand down tonight and distance himself from the statement. Klassenberg has not done that. Now, he also said the statement is like a petulant child. It is embarrassing, but they are grabbing victory from defeat. Now, this is where I want us to focus on.
Grabbing defeat from victory.
Grabbing defeat from victory. Says they could say, why should we sit here and be badly done to and not say anything? You can potentially come out at the end of the game, and the manager is a great spokesman at the end of the game. So is your captain, and say that we are not accepting the quality of decisions going on against us, and that would have had a real impact. He also said the manager can say that's a shocker today, a disgraceful decision. You get a bit of fine, and the club will cover it for you because you do a deal with the chairman to defend yourself and put a marker down. All of those things have happened in the past. Now, all of these things have happened in the past. We are still getting the same poor decisions every day of the week.
And for Gary Neville, you can't question a man that is down, basically.
I don't understand.
Like, you question him and he's down and you trample on him. Of course, there should be some reaction, and that is what Forest have done. As much as I don't like the fact that they've gone for public court, but over and over again, the coach of the side impressed us is come out to complain this decision, that decision, it's so unfair on the club side. And as much as I want to support Forest in this situation, maybe the channel at which they've gone about it, is a bit questionable. Maybe they should have also gone to the Court of Arbitration for Sports and just leave their complaints, basically.
The official channels have failed them time and time again this season.
And it is what they've done, actually. They've informed the PGMOL, and I'm pretty sure that they've also informed the Premier League. And if nothing is being done, maybe then they can now take it to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. And I don't know what Guy Never, he says a lot of trash. I don't know what he's saying. The idea behind bringing McClattenburg in is for him to come and teach them, to make them understand the rules. So sometimes when they come out and complain about some decisions, it doesn't look as if they don't know what they are saying. And if McClattenburg at the point when he was in the Premier League, the best referee, the most respected referee,
he had his own. He
was still respected in the Premier League, has come out to also call out some of his former colleagues.
But
it's referee calling out referees.
At the end of the day, you guys need to understand, it wasn't the coach who put out that tweet. It wasn't the captain of the team. It was official.
If the coach comes out and talk, they will
exactly. If it was the coach, it would have been worse. If it was the coach, it would have been worse. So, but I feel like everybody behind that particular guy felt the same way, and they all supported that tweet, and that's why that tweet still remains. So I think it's one too many times, and Nottingham Forest will be the first team to actually, hold them by the jugular and press their leg.
At the end of the day, I think there are a lot of teams in the Premier League. If they've been asked, refereeing decisions this season, how bad has it been for you?
You can imagine
every team will have a long list at the end of the day. Yes, it's because it's Nottingham Forest right now, but every other Premier League team could have easily gone the same route. That's what I'm saying.
My outrage at Nottingham Forest.
They made the case before the game.
And again, my support of Nottingham Forest as well has to do with the fact that, like you said, it's happened one too many times to everybody. The ineptitude of the referees has cost a lot of teams this season.
Do you know where it becomes unacceptable? When you make a case that this person, we know him, this person is this, and they say no. Then the person now
makes a heavy blunder.
Let's hear from one expert again, and then we'll come back. We'll take your calls, your messages, and reactions to everything we talked about today.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.